Welcome to NPL Season 1, Race 3 of F2. In this, we have 6 people because we don't have anyone in this league. Anyway, Crackers is currently in first. Let him cook. Cyril in second. Dan is now down to third. Oh no, and Crackers has already ruined his chances by going straight on at the first corner. Now Yayyyy is going in first in one-shot qualifying. Imola right behind Dan. Cyril, is this your first race, Cyril, in F2? So this is Cyril's debut in F2. We've had some regulars here. We've got Crackers, we've got Alomas, Yayyyy and Dan. And we've got Daily Goat as well. And Yayyyy on a great lap, but Dan is very close behind, so it's very competitive up front here between these two. Let's get some data up for these first few sectors. Gonna watch Dan. Dan driving this Rafael Villa Gomez, which means he will crash out randomly in this race, but we'll see. Please tell me my stream works. Yes, it does. There we go. Anyway, it's pretty close between the top two, but it looks like Yayyyy has got a slight advantage over Dan. He's just behind him by about, I'd say, about 4/10 of a second at this point. Alomas is also pretty close, so Day the Goat's quite far back. Crackers, unfortunately, after a very promising start with good straight line speed, he's now all the way down in last place, qualifying at the moment. Will Dan manage to do something in the final corner on Yayyyy? Looks like Yayyy's going to get a commanding pole position here and continue his charge for the championship with Dervas not racing today. I just realised Dervas probably wanted an invite. He told me he wanted an invite for F1, he said he might join late. No, he hasn't got time. It's fine. He can fuck off. Dan said he fucked up the chicane so hard in his words, and that's why he's 6/10 off pole position from Yayyyy, despite being very close to him in the first two sectors. Alomas in third place. We have David Goat in fourth, we have Cyril in fifth, and Crackers in sixth place. 4.8 seconds off the pace, but he did have a big mistake in the first chicane going into the gravel when he was leading the way in one-shot qualifying. Here is the race, though, at Imola, the same track we'll be going to tomorrow in F1, and it's going to be interesting to see what the F2 drivers can do today. Imola. And it's wet. We have the first ever wet F2 race. This is going to be absolute shambles. Oh, Imola sucks in the rain, by the way. Good luck, guys. Anyway. Yeah, for real. I was going to say, why are there so many wet races? It's kind of shit. Wet races are boring in Formula E. Yeah, it's really bad. This could end up being very competitive with all the attrition in this race. Here we go, 5 red laps in front of the drivers, and it's lights out away. We go for 18 laps around the Imola circuit. Good start from Yayyyy. Dan really struggling for traction. Here comes Alomas right behind him. They're now side by side heading into the first corner. Alomas got a great start there on the inside line. Good start for Day to Go, and Cyril has already dropped down to last place before they even reach the first corner. Dan going to go around the outside here of Alomas. Here comes Day to Go as well, side by side. He drifts wide. Past him goes Crackers. You have the yellow flag to Cyril. Has spun around a little bit there, but he did manage to keep going and save the car. Yayyyy is at least from Dan in second. Alomas in third. Crackers up to fourth place. Day to Go is in fifth. Dan sliding through the corners, trying to get some traction. He's going to gain some time here on Yayyyy now as he goes to the outside, heading into this hairpin. Now down the inside he goes. Can he make a move here? He is on the inside, but he's not going to have very good pace on the exit unless he gets great traction. It's 3 wide for a second, I thought it was, but not quite. Alomas on the inside. Alongside Dan now. Can he get a move on the inside line? Heading into turn 7. Almost goes off. I couldn't tell. Oh, there was contact. I couldn't tell from the angle I was looking at. Oh, big contact there. Big damage on Daily Goat's Trident, and the virtual safety car's been deployed straight away in the race. What a start for Crackers, up 3 places now. And we have Alomas in second, so the battle for the lead is on between the top 2. And Dan really struggling in these conditions here. He would look pretty fast, but he's really struggling here. It seems like one issue Dan's always had is he gets caught up in this. Oh, Cyril almost crashed into him. Under the VSC. And there is some drama as they're complaining to each other about the delta, even though Dan can't overtake the one and the only Day to Go. Oh, crash! Is that Dan with damage? Did he just get brake tested by Day to Go? What on earth is going on here? Will Dan pit at the end of the first lap? David Goat certainly will. He's in the pit lane for Trident. That's a shame for him. His race is pretty much going to be done now unless there's a full safety car. Of course, last time out in Spain there were no safety cars, so it looks like the VSC will end soon, which is not good news for some of these guys, but we'll see how that goes. Maybe David Goat actually could benefit from this. Delta's going to be really bad because these cars are very slow anyway, and it's raining, and they have to get very slow, certain percentage of pace, so these cars are trundling around the track at very low speeds. Green flag is out. Not a very good restart for Yayyyy. Here comes Alomas now. He's going to have a chance to get the lead of the race. This will be the first time he can win a race this season. Yayyyy, I think he hit the grass. I think he did. On the outside, he's certainly gone in very deep at the hairpin. Alomas on the inside. They're side by side for the lead. The dams of Alomas with the MP car of Yayyyy John on the outside of the track, heading into turn 7 once again. No, Yayyyy will manage to fend him off for just for now, but Alomas is right behind him in the rainy conditions here at Imola. We could see 3 different winners in 3 races if Alomas can get into first place and win the race, but it's very early to say that. It's only lap 2. Groundcrack is in 3rd place with Dan right behind him, despite his damage on the front wing. Looking pretty fast there, looking pretty racy. Groundcrack is once again in the podium position, much like he was with some of the race last time out in Spain. Alomas with the purple middle sector, really struggling for grip there through the chicane, and it's going to be a lot of time gain here for Alomas, the traction control helping him, I believe, in the rainy conditions. He heads off the track. Oh, Alomas almost spun out there right as he was trying to get close to Yayyyy, and he's going to give him a second buffer now behind him. Meanwhile, Dan, all over the back of Groundcracker's fastest lap of the race for Yayyyy on the restart of the VSC. Cyril is 39.9 seconds off the race lead. Not very... Oh, sorry, off of 5th place, never mind the race lead. So we have Dan there, chasing down Groundcrackers into turn 1. Will he make a move here? Oh no, and Alomas went wide. I think he did in the first chicane, went very wide. Here comes Groundcrackers now. He's going to gain a lot of time. It's now a 3-second lead for your soon-to-be championship leader, Yayyyy. I'm not sure what the championship standings are as of right now. I haven't seen them in a while. But it's still... There's Yayyyy leading though from Alomas, second purple, first sector by 5.3 seconds faster. 7.2 seconds... Whoa, can't speak. Anyway, Alomas in second place. 3.3 seconds off the lead, but Groundcrack is chasing him down, hoping to make inroads on him here. Very likely we could see a safety car today with these conditions. You have a 4-car train for second now, more than DRS range. Of course, DRS is not unable for the wet conditions. They go slowly reeling in the cars ahead. Alomas goes very wide, pushing the limit of the car, and the dams there in front of Groundcrack is trying to get away from him, as Dan is still very close. So too is Serial in 5th place in his debut for dams. These teammates of Alomas are 2nd and 5th currently for dams. Very good for them in the Constructors' Championship. Rumbling over the curbs there is Cyril as he heads off the corner. We have a big battle brewing up here potentially. If one mistake from any of these drivers, then they will be able to capitalise from another driver's mistake. And, boy. You're going to want to have very even wings in the wet conditions. The rear wing should be very similar to the front wing downforce. So I recommend if you're in the pit lane, turn down the front wing downforce. Wink, wink. If you want to have more stability in the wet conditions. Yayyyy goes fastest. Once again, has Alomas gain any time when it doesn't look like he had made a huge mistake in the first chicane. Here comes Dan then once again. 4 tenths behind. Groundcrackers using the slipstream. Of course, no ERS in this in lap 2. So Dan is going to have to make up all his time on the corners if the straight line speed is really that good for Groundcrackers now in the Rebel liveried Campos in 3rd place. Heading through the first chicane, the Tamburello chicane. Heading now down towards this chicane. I forgot the name, I do not give a fuck. That was straight bars. Anyway, Groundcrackers goes in deep. Can Dan get a switchback? If he goes a little bit wide, he's going to be very close to the happy. You can stand a dive on here. He thought about it. Just poking the car out of the racing line to have a look. And a little bit of, straight off the traction there as Groundcrackers off the corner in the wet conditions. Here comes Dan though. In the VAR, trying to make a move here on the Campos in 3rd place. Can Groundcrackers hold them off? It looks really close on pace. Dan, despite the front wing damage, looks really fast here. And going in very deep into the gravel. Almost contact as he rejoined the track. This could give Cyril encouragement behind. He looks like he's made a mistake of some kind because he really fell off the pace there in the first couple of sectors. But it is Dan now up to 3rd place ahead of Groundcrackers. He's now still gone up 2 places in this race, so not to be deterred. Still very close to Dan, so if he can stay with them, hopefully he can get back in the fight. But Dan looks like he's very fast here today. He's got great pace in that VAR. He's already gained 2 tenths on Alomas in the chicane alone, so Dan looking like a contender despite his front wing damage for some good points today in the rain. Of course, I think pit stops will come into play here today because the tyre wear in the rain is surprisingly very high, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see mandatory pit stops. Mandatory in the sense that you really cannot stay out without popping a tyre on the final lap with the tyre wear there is. Yayyyy, they're leading the way, purple final sector apparently. Lomas just behind, 4.2 seconds behind, he was half a second slower that lap than Yayyyy joined his teammate in F1. Down there in third place. The VAR looking to pull away from Grandcrackers. He has done so far, but still the gap is only 1.2 seconds between them, so it's pretty close between Grandcrackers and Dan. Cyril looking quite far away. So there's 5 laps into this race. The rain's still looking pretty heavy, but not too much spray actually between these cars, and the cars really struggling to meet the apex of these corners through the turns they're going through. But Lomas has lost loads of time to Dan here. Looks probably one of the fastest cars on track. It might be the fastest car on track actually. Oh, I say that, and he almost spins out right as I say that. And he's going to lose third place to Grandcrackers, and that's going to have all the good work come undone there for Dan. He really needs to work on his consistency here because he's really struggling for pace in the rain. And I find it's not the pace he's struggling for, it's the consistency of not making mistakes. It's really costing him big time in these races. Grip very low for Dan, he says on the radio to me there. That's Cyril right behind. Oh, he almost spins again! Dan really struggling for grip now. He's got no grip. He's in 5th place now. Dan needs to be more careful on his throttle inputs just to make sure he gets off the corner well. Maybe it's time to make some pit stops if the grip is really going down that much. I don't think it's a good idea though, because the tyre doesn't seem too bad. So tyre actually isn't too bad here in F2. And Yayyyy is laughing, is running away in the lead now, surely. Fastest lap of the race. Is the track getting drier is the question. I can't tell from what I can see. It does look... It looks slightly dry, but I don't know if it is. It looks like interweather maybe, but we'll see if it gets to interweather by the end of the race. Hopefully it does. Meanwhile, Dan and Cyril side by side in the first chicane. Contact! Oh man, that was very messy between those two. Dan, is he going to spin out? Dan spins into Cyril, and that's going to cost him like 5 seconds. Dan has no grip, and there's more contact, and Cyril has lost 5 seconds now to the car ahead. And Dan could not make that move on Cyril because he's got no grip on the exit of these corners, and he spins out again. Dan once again spinning around. He's down in 5th place now. He's got no grip in that VAR car. Really, he needs to go into higher gears or something. Just try something different, just to give him more traction and be more reliable on these corner exits. But so far, the whole field very spread out. Very common in a race with 6 people for the field to get spread out. Hopefully, we'll see a safety car to bring the field back together. Or some mistakes maybe to bring this race closer together between the top 6 cars. There the Goat, meanwhile, has gained a lot of time on the cars ahead because of this drama ahead. Looking to get some good points for Trident here down in 6th place. Down there, 5th place, 3.5 seconds off of Cyril. We're going to watch him because I think he's rather providing us with the most action so far this race, let's say, as he's heading down towards the final 2 corners of the track, which I forgot the name of. Yayyyy once again, much faster on that fastest lap. It looks like surely it's getting dry. It was 8 tenths faster than his previous fastest lap. So this could see intermediates coming into play maybe if it keeps getting drier towards the end of the race. But we'll have to see. Because obviously this track is a very long pit lane. It's about a 32-second pit lane. So you're going to lose a lot of time from pitting, especially if you're pitting from the lead of the race. It might be worth the risk. So I think people could be trying to risk staying out unless the tyre really gets that bad towards the end of the race. Oh shit. Well, just in, there are no intermediate tyres in F2. I'm stupid. So wet tyres it is. No matter what everyone wants to do, there are no intermediates, and there they go. It's gained a lot of time on Dan here. You know, I think you guys should gamble for slicks, because at this point, I'm bored. Meanwhile, actually, Dan is closing in on Cyril once again, right to say that. So hopefully Dan can come back through the field here and get a move on Cyril, 4th place in the Downs. Giving a great day here. They're going to score the 2nd most points of anybody, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Because Yayyyy in 1st place has pole position, and Dams have 2nd and 4th, which gives them... Actually, hold on a minute. They would score the most points. Gosh, it's 30. Yeah, so it would, actually would be more for Dams than it would be for MP. It was pretty close though, so not many points gained for Dams despite being the only team with 2 cars in this race. What was that you asked, Dan? Who's racing for who? MP most, but yeah, so we've got MP of Yubo, we've got, yeah, Riley's driving for Dams, Campos for Ground Crackers, Cyril's and Dams, and then, yeah, Trident for Diddy. And then you're on VAR, yay! Dan goes down the straight, losing more time on Cyril, just a little bit, but getting it back in the straight, it looks like. 1.4 seconds faster than his previous best lap there for Dan, but Yayyyy, without question, is the fastest car on track. He got a 7-second lead. He's dominating this F2 championship this season. And looks to be the one to beat today, certainly. See how this goes in the future. Looks like Tice didn't make the race today, unfortunately. I could have... That happened. Well, the Ground Crackers get encouragement from that. It looks like you'll gain a little bit of time, maybe. About even between those two. Oh, and big moment there for Cyril as he went on the curb. That's not what you want to be doing in that corner. So drifting seems to be the way for Cyril to go through there. At the happen once again. I need to know the name of these corners now. I have no idea what they're called. I only know Tamburello and Acromena Rally. Toza, what's the final 2 corners? They have names, don't they? Yeah, where's Variante Alto? Where's that? Is that a different track? Oh, yeah. I know like 4 corners now. Anyway, that'll do. 4 corners is better than no corners. Fuck the last 2 corners. I'll just call them the Degners because they're the same thing. I'll call them the backwards Lesmos, the Lesbos. Then now heading down the straight is just 0.7 seconds behind. Oh my god, wait, why did I mention Bad Boy? He's messaged us when the races. Bad Boy has messaged us when the races. I hope he can race because he's not that bad. Oh no, and as I say that Cyril goes off the track, and that will give Dan a free 4th place unless he can defend on the outside. He can get a switchback of some kind. Now he goes in deep onto the wet line. This could be problematic for him now as they head off the corner. Dan is ahead and he's made the mistake, and now you can set his sights of the 8-second gap to the Ground Crackers in 3rd place. And now we have absolutely nothing to look at unless Dan goes off again, which is very plausible. 10 more minutes of rain, I heard someone's radio say. If you want to race, ban, go ahead. That's a good idea, Dan. You should do that and see what happens. I'll watch your telemetry to make sure you do nothing fishy. Yeah, bro, just planted the fall. Fastest lap of the race for Evil and John 546 with a 1:37.8. That was a second faster than his previous best lap. Bro is cooking up there. Must have really put the lap together though. Look how confident he is on turning in the wet conditions. I'm very confident there in the vertical curve. It's actually not going to be 10 minutes done. Oh, and Cyril, it looked like he was just gaining back time on Dan. Has gone by once again in the exit at Sambarella there, which is such a shame because he's gone off the last lap and the lap after, so 2 laps in a row there for Cyril, going off at the 3rd corner of the track. And through Toza, look pretty well committed down the inside, but Dan it is still 1.6 seconds ahead of Cyril. This is a pretty long distance battle here for 4th place, but they're within touching distance of each other if they make a mistake, or at least if Dan makes a mistake, and Cyril can close in once again. But it must be reminded, Dan has damage, seems to be hindering his progress, and he's been struggling for grip on the restart. Now I have absolutely no idea what that means, but there's a big blue icon on Cyril's telemetry. Then what does that mean? Can you see that, Cyril? It's a big blue. You got damage or like? That will be investigated after the race. There they go. Meanwhile, 39 seconds off the rest of the field. That's had a very lonely race down in 6th place, unfortunately. Dan gets the fastest lap. Every yellow flag as Cyril's gone around, I think, at the final corner. Oh, and he gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Dan with the fastest lap is now going way faster than Crackers in 3rd. He needs to keep this pace up if he wants to get back into the podium positions, which at this pace he absolutely can do. He's the fastest car on track, down in 4th. To think what could have been if he just was a little bit more consistent on that first phase of the race. Maybe he could have been battling for the lead even by now. You never know. But no matter, it's all about what's going on now, and Dan is closing in on Crackers with lowering pace. It's again struggling for grip. He just needs to be a little more patient on the throttle here. Make sure he just has consistent metronomic lap times so that he can close the gap gradually to Crackers ahead. He's really struggling for grip on Tozer, and now Delago is now into 5th. He's got Cyril right behind him with a 10-second penalty. This means Delago could snatch 5th place away from Cyril out of nowhere. This is a plot twist in this race. We'll see what the pace of Delago is relative to Cyril on those fresh, wet tyres. The dry line is forming a lot more than it was at the start of the race. We could see slicks being quicker towards the very end of the race. We never know. For now, though, it's still very wet. And Dan hasn't gained too much on Crackers here on this lap. He gained a bit in the first sector, but then he lost a lot of time at Tozer. Heading through the final 2 corners. Tyres are dead, Bill says. The lead of the race. I don't know why he's saying that when he's leading by 8 seconds, but there you go. Purple final sector for Dan. Closing in even more now on Crackers. It looks like the gap is a little bit too much here. But he's still closing in on Crackers. He looks really fast, actually. He's got really good pace enough to him. But I just said that, actually. He's gaining a little bit of time here on a Lomas in 2nd place. Personal best first sector. Promising pace here from Crackers. He really seems to be coming into a nice rhythm in this latter stage of the race. Cyril's actually lost time to Delago. Has he got more damage? I don't think they repaired the wing. So Cyril didn't replace his front wing there. Now he's really slow, unfortunately. I think he's had a mistake on this lap, unless that was the lap he pitted. I can't tell, but... There's Dan. Under 6 seconds now behind Crackers in turn. Picking up the pace he's gone into. He's dipped a wheel in the gravel there. That may cost him some time to Lomas, but he looks like he's lost some time as well. So Lomas, Crackers and Dan slowly congesting together with 6 laps to go when Yayyyy crosses the line now. That makes a good point. You guys don't need to worry so much about your tyres. That is not dead. You should do F1 in the rain at this track. Oh, and Lomas dipped a wheel in the gravel there. I think he lost a lot of time, actually. He's gained... Wow, Crackers gained a second on him. This could be a battle for second. Out of nowhere. Lomas struggling for pace, struggling for grip, and he's really been more inconsistent these last few laps. So Dan is closing in on Crackers for 3rd place, and Crackers in turn for 2nd on Lomas. He's now 10 seconds off the lead, struggling for grip here in these last stages of the race. Can Crackers in the Campos get a personal best performance here in F2? He's now chasing down 2nd. He's got great pace in the Campos. Oh, he's gone wide though, into the gravel himself. And Delago pits once again. That's interesting. I'm not sure why he's done that. Has he crashed or something? That's cost him the chance to get 5th place. I don't know why he's doing it. Did the goose pit? No one else in front's pitting. Not in the rain. That means Cyril is pitting for absolutely no reason. Because he thought... So Cyril's race coming undone, but Day the Goat's done the same thing, and he's now pitting. Oh, he's on dry tyres! Hold on a minute. Day the Goat taking a risk here in the end of the race to go onto the dry tyres? Well, I'll have a look at the Delta. So far, not paying off. He's lost a lot of time to Cyril on the pit exit, but he needs to get the tyres up to temperature. Maybe once he has, though, he could genuinely be quite fast. He's a lap down, though. He's got Yayyyy in front of him and just gone past the picture. And he's now staying on the dry line. Looks pretty accurate through there. Don't dip a wheel. He dipped a wheel on the wet part of the track. He cannot be doing that in these dry tyres. The dry tyres. Shot though, down. Yeah, same on F1 at least. That is really making the most of the traction control heading through Toza to gain time on Dan, which is good. Pulling away now. Cyril gets the fastest lap of the race on his fresh wet tyres. What am I saying? Wet tyres. So Cyril getting an extra point for that, unless someone can respond. It looks like the track it's getting kind of clear in the sky, so I can see some sunshine. And there's Yayyyy in the final corner, continuing on his merry way to 4 laps to go, looking to get 2 wins in a row this season, the first repeat winner in F2. If there's a safety car late though, which is very plausible with the car on dry tyres, oh, he's coming in, he's going to speed, no he won't. Oh, Cyril's got a purple first sector. I think he made a mistake though, can't tell. He did make a mistake there at Toza. Unfortunately, he's been struggling there all day. So Dan and Grandcrackers, it looks like Grandcrackers is sort of the gap between him and Alomas has stabilized, but Dan is still closing in rapidly on Grandcrackers for 3rd place. 4 seconds to gain in 4 laps. At this pace, it's very possible, but it requires some mistakes here. And speaking of mistakes, Alomas has lost a lot of time in the first few corners here on Grandcrackers this lap. And just like Spain, the field congesting towards the very end of the race, and Grandcrackers is going to be the car looking to benefit from it. Just like he did on tyres last time out in Spain. And Day the Goat's crashed, or did he just retire? He left the session. He left the session, he's in the pit lane, he's just come onto the track, and he's left the session now. He's had enough, and honestly, fair enough. He was down in 6th, he was not going to make any inroads in the cars ahead. He took a risk, it didn't pay off, and he's going to retire from the race. The only retirement of this race so far. Dry conditions, which could not stay on the dry line. So we're in dry conditions, but there's no point pitting for dries. Yayyyy could take a risk and go into dries, wink wink. Anyway, Grandcrackers there. I was joking. Bird does not want to do an Eliza. 100%. Yeah, I know, I'm talking to fucking bad boy. Anyway, battle for 2nd place, finally a battle in this race, and this could absolutely pay dividends for Dan in this race, who's in 4th and closing in rapidly, and with this battle in front, which will definitely hold up Grandcrackers and Alomas, this could see a huge battle for 2nd in the closing laps of the race. With 3 laps remaining on a dry track on wet tyres, the tyre temperatures and therefore the wear is going to be through the roof in these final few laps. We could see cars getting punctures if they're not careful. Grandcrackers have made a big mistake on the curb on the inside of Toza, and that means Dan's closing in. He's only 1.8 seconds behind. He's gained about a second in this lap alone, maybe even more than that. I think it was 1.3 seconds he's gained on Grandcrackers on this lap alone. So Dan with great pace here at the end of the race. Grandcrackers are looking to gain on Alomas, so the battle for 2nd continuing on to the very end of the race. Anything could happen in these final few laps. It's going to be very interesting to see how the final few laps of this race play out. Alomas, what is he doing? Oh, he's struggling for grip. And Grandcrackers now heading to the outside of the track, and they're side by side now into the chicane. He's got in very deep. He goes over the curb. Here comes Grandcrackers now, and Dan as well. It's a 3-car battle for 2nd place now. And Alomas going off the track. Has he got a puncture? I think Alomos has a puncture! From second place, the rear right's gone flat, and he's going to be having to pit. He goes into the gravel, he's off! And this is terrible! We could see punctures for the leading cars, and now it's Alomos whose tyre has popped at the end of the race. 2 cars pitting on the final lap. Can Cyril... Oh, and Dan Speed in the pit lane ruins us a chance to get second place. Graham Crackers will now get almost like a guaranteed second. Alomos, though, is pitting as well. Yayyyy staying out. Will he get a puncture on the final laps? Drama here in the Imola F2 race. If Yayyyy got a puncture at the start of the lap, he would be absolutely fucked in the final few sectors. %90 wear with 2 laps remaining for Yayyyy. He has to pit this lap if he wants to come out. And with a good outlap, Graham Crackers could very well gain a lot of time here on Yayyyy. Can Yayyyy go 1 lap on these wet tyres extra with 90% tyre wear on a dry track with extremely high tyre wear thanks to that? There's no way he's going to do that. He's going to have to absolutely save all the tyre he can in these final few laps. Oh, and there's Cyril once again getting a penalty in the pit lane. Cyril now pitting, and he's got a penalty. He's 50 seconds after the front move anyway. This track is completely dry, and now, because of that, these cars will be gaining heaps of time on Yayyyy, and because he has to trundle his way around the final lap on a wet tyre, unless he chooses to pit, which he very well could do, actually, with a 47-second lead, and he does. No risk taken there from Yayyyy, looking to get good points here for NP Motorsport. Unless something bad happens. So he's pitting. His tyre could have popped on the last lap, and he had a big enough gap to pit from the leader and still retain it when he comes out, unless he really fucked up his pit exit somehow. Fastest lap could go to any one of these drivers of purple sectors here, purple for Graham Crackers actually, in the first sector. Who's going to get the fastest lap of the race? We'll find out. Looks like it's too late for Cyril to get fastest lap at this rate, because by the time he does come around, I think Yayyyy will have already ended the race. Yayyyy coming out of the pit exit. Graham Crackers is heading down the main straight here with full tyres for Yayyyy heading on the pit exit. He gained a lot of time there on Yayyyy on his outlap. And with cold tyres, and maybe a mistake could happen here for Yayyyy, which could give Graham Crackers the lead, but we'll see. I don't think that will happen though, it's a bit likely. You never know. Oh, Dan almost spun out there at Tamburello as he came off the corner. But Graham Crackers it is, with a 7.5 second gap between himself and Yayyyy first. Yayyyy needs to just take it easy on this final lap. He's got this race in the bag. Purple sector here for Graham Crackers. Dan doesn't look quite as fast. Oh, he almost spun out. Was that dirty? Or was it just purely a lack of traction? That was weird. It's a combination of both. Graham Crackers seemed to come across the line he was going to take, and that seemed to really affect the front nose of Dan's car, who, speaking of, has gone very wide, almost spun out, almost crashed, and Alomos will get third place away from him anyway, because of the penalty for Dan, which means he will not get a podium this race, unfortunately, after a great effort in a very unfortunate race for him. Looked like it could have been a good comeback, but he's done the Dylan Season 10 Australia, where it looked like the best comeback we could have ever seen, has fallen flat on his face with an accident. It's cost him front wing damage, and he spun out a few times, came back through with great pace, and then when the tyres started to pop, he came through, and he's now going to finish third on the track with a penalty for speeding the finish. But it is Yayyyy John coming across the line to win 2 races in a row in F2 and take the championship lead by a commanding margin. He wins the Imola race here for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in F2 with a purple final sector. Graham Crackers gets the fastest lap of the race. Unserved penalty for Dan gives Alomos third place. Fastest lap of the race goes to Alomos on the final lap, giving him an extra point for Dams. And Cyril get the fastest lap of the race. He's 1.3 seconds up on his previous best lap in the first sector alone, which of course isn't very indicative because that was on wet tyres. Also, he has front wing damage, which in the dry makes a big difference compared to the rain, where the driving skill makes more of a difference. Cyril, though, heading off into the middle sector. What's it looking like? Is it purple? It's not, but he's gaining a lot of time. We'll see what he can do here. He needs a really good last sector if he wants to get the fast lap of Alomos, which was a great lap from him there in third place. It's going to be Graham Crackers with a rear best second. Alomos stole it off of Graham Crackers on the final lap, unfortunately for Graham Crackers there. Great performance there on the Campos for a personal best second place. Cyril, can he get the fastest lap on the final lap? He's got 4, 3, 2, F1. I don't think he's going to do it. He's not. And it's going to be Lomas that gets the fastest lap. Or is it? Oh, it wasn't. Yeah, no. It was Lomas that got the fastest lap. Unserved penalty for Cyril is what the message was at the top of the screen. I thought that was the fastest lap message. I got concerned there. There we go. There is your F2 feature race at Imola. Obviously, we don't have a sprint race, so fuck that. And it is the win for Yayyyy 546 once again in the MP Motorsport car from Campos of Graham Crackers in second place, Alomas in third in the Dams. Van Amersfoort taking fourth place with Dan, unfortunately not the podium today despite a great effort from him. He finished third on the track, speeding cost him that third place. Cyril with a 10-second penalty, had no one behind him to contest him, with De the Goat retiring for Trident earlier on in the race after having enough, trying the dry tires a little bit too early, taking a risk that didn't work, and retiring in the pit lane. Thanks for watching the F2 race here at Imola. We'll see you soon tomorrow. It's another race today? I mean for F2, not for F1. There's an F2 race today? Another one? No, that's what I mean, like another F2. Anyway, F2 races tomorrow, F1 later today. Be sure to tune in to NPL F2 for the F1 race at Jeddah later today, which is going to be absolute chaos, I don't doubt, with a lot of people looking to race. We'll see you in the next one.